Hey everybody, I'm Tony T here from TonySpace.com with our free college football pick show. We've got week 2, part 3. We're going to have 8 plays from the Saturday primetime card. Before we get the plays, guys, be sure to visit TonySpace.com. Get my best bets, the links in the description. All right, let's get it underway. Central Michigan and FIU college football pick here for action on Saturday. Central Michigan here 1-0 after their 66-10 home win at Central Connecticut State. Chippewas finished at 5-7 last season for head coach Jim McElwain, who's in his 6th season. The team returned 7 starters on offense, 6 to the defense. They put up just 21 points per game last year with 4.2 yards per rush. The passing game sat in the bottom quartile of college football. On defense, they surrendered 30 points per game, 395 yards as well. Teams rushed for 4.7 yards a carry against them with 225 yards passing for 8 yards per pass attempt. Many of their playmakers returned. Senior quarterback Joe Labus is under center. He last saw action in the Iowa Bowl, in Iowa for that bowl game in the 2022 season, hitting 14-24 for 139 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a big performance in their win against FCS foe against their FCS foe. Now FIU, they're 0-1, a 31-17 road defeat to Indiana. Panthers gained just 182 yards, just 1.8 yards per rush. They allowed 414 yards to the Hoosiers, 234 rushing for 5.9 yards per carry. Keon Jenkins, 28-29 passing for 129 yards and a touchdown with a pick. A sophomore started last year as a true freshman. FIU quarterback play remains inefficient under Jenkins, a bigger test for Labus, who couldn't win the starter's job in Iowa, and now heading to a road game trying to improve a poor passing game from last year. Play Central Michigan FIU under 51.5. East Carolina and Old Dominion college football pick. This one here Saturday. East Carolina 1-0 after their 42-3 home win against FCS school at Norfolk State. The Pirates finished at 2-10 for head coach Mike Houston last year. The team returned 7 starters on offense, 7 to the defense. They averaged 15 points per game in 2023 with 269 yards. A poor run game with a passing game that sat near the bottom of college football. Defensively, they held foes to 24 points per game, only 3.5 yards per rush. They did allow 8 yards per pass completion. The defense picks up 5 transfers to help fill the holes. Miami transfer Jake Garcia starts at quarterback. At Miami, he completed 61% of his passes, 7.4 yards per pass attempt. He put up good numbers against FCS school last week, but threw for 3 picks. Old Dominion drops at 23-19, a 23-19 road defeat to South Carolina. Monarchs put up 305 yards, 108 rushing for 3.2 yards a carry. They turned it over 4 times. On defense, they held the Gamecocks at 288 yards with 174 rushing, 3.1 yards a carry. Grant Wilson completed 22 of 38 passes for 197 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. He lost 2 fumbles. East Carolina passing is the major concern here after being a near bottom performer last season. Garcia's 3 picks against Norfolk State is not a good sign. Wilson is an experienced quarterback for the Monarchs. ODU defense deserve a better fate by holding South Carolina under 300 yards. Play Old Dominion here -1. South Alabama and Ohio college football pick. This one here on Saturday. South Alabama 0-1 after their 52-38 home defeat to North Texas. The Jaguars gained 582 yards, 150 rushing for 4.5 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 550 yards to the Mean Green with 446 passing yards for 10.6 yards per pass attempt. Sophomore quarterback Gio Lopez completed 26 of 49 for 432 yards with 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 52 yards and a touchdown. Ohio 0-1 after the 38-22 road defeat to Syracuse. The Bobcats put up 436 yards, 255 rushing for 6.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 480 yards to the Orange with 354 passing yards for 8.9 yards per pass attempt. Parker Navarro hit 18 of 30 for 181 yards. Ohio rushing numbers were impressive here against a power conference school in Syracuse, but giving up 550 yards to North Texas, offense is concerned here laying these points. So we'll take a look at Ohio here at +2. Sam Houston State and UCF college football pick. This one Saturday. All right, we've got Sam Houston 1-0 after a 34-14 road win at Rice as a dog here. Bearcats put up 407 yards, 178 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. On defense, they limited the Owls to 274 yards with 47 on the ground for 2.6 yards a carry. The team had a +2 turnover margin. Hunter Watson at 16 of 27 passing for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was the junior's first ever action. UCF 1-0 after their 57-3 home win to FCS New Hampshire. The Knights finished 6-7 last year. They returned 6 starters to the offense, 8 on defense. UCF put up 30 points per game in 2023 with 477 yards. The team rushed for 5.7 yards a carry with efficient passing numbers. Defensively, they allowed 27 points a game with 405 yards. Opponents rushed for 5 yards per carry on them, but they did defend the pass well. Arkansas transfer KJ Jefferson at quarterback. Last season, he completed 64% of his passes, 7.1 yards per pass attempt. He's a threat to run, but averaged only 2.8 yards a carry in 2023. He completed only half his passes against FCS foes last week. UCF brought a new defensive coordinator, Ted Roof, in to improve this unit. Hunter Watson, first assignment against a power conference team, and it's a back-to-back road spot. KJ Jefferson, dual threat match matched up with Malzahn. Looks like a pretty good marriage there between the two, head coach and quarterback. Play UCF -21.5. One second, we're going to get the next game will be USF and South Alabama. Here we go. USF and Alabama college football pick. This one here on Saturday. USF 1-0 after their 48-3 home win to FCS Bethune-Cookman. South Florida went 7-6 last year for head coach Alex Golesh. The team returns 10 starters on offense, 8 to the defense. They averaged 31 points per game, 461 yards as well. Their passing game was efficient. Defensively, the Bulls gave up 33 points and 436 yards a game. They held foes at 4.3 yards a carry, but struggled defending the pass. Byron Brown last year completed 64% of his passes with 7.7 yards per pass attempt. He rushed for 809 yards, 11 touchdowns. His numbers were good in the opener against his FCS opponent. Alabama 1-0 after their 63-0 home win to Western Kentucky. The Crimson Tide gained 600 yards, 334 rushing for 7.1 yards per carry. Defensively, they held the Hilltoppers to 145 yards, 3 of 18 on third down with 42 rushing yards, just 1.6 yards a carry. Jalen Monroe, 7 of 9 passing, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 79 yards and 2 scores as well. USF offense showed improvement last season under Brown. USF was competitive against the Crimson Tide, albeit on the wrong end of a 17-3 home loss last year. Brown developed well after that early season loss. Play USF +31. Next game will be Buffalo and Missouri. Just give us a second as we get to it right. Here we go. Buffalo and Missouri college football pick. This one here Saturday. Buffalo 1-0 after their 30-13 home win to FCS Lafayette. The Bulls went 3-9 last year. Pete Lembo in his first year with the program. He's going to have just 3 starters on offense, 7 to the defense. They put up 19 points and 315 yards last year. Buffalo rushed for 4.4 yards a carry with inefficient passing game in 2023. On defense, they allowed 26 points and 359 yards a game. The team held opponents to 176 passing yards for 6.7 yards per pass attempt. Gone are the starting quarterback with many playmakers. Senior quarterback CJ Ogbonna is the starting quarterback. He was ineffective in limited work last year with the Bulls and in his 2 years at Southeastern Missouri as well. He did pass for 2 touchdowns and 195 yards in their win against their FCS opponent. Missouri 1-0 after a 51-0 home win to FCS Murray State. Tigers finished at 11-2 in 2023 for head coach Eli Drinkwitz. Returning are 9 starters on offense, 5 in the defense. They put up 32 points and 432 yards per game last year. The team rushed for 4.4 yards a carry and was effective in the passing game. Defensively, Missouri held opponents to 22 points and 348 yards a game. They held opponents to 4 yards per carry, 6.9 yards per pass attempt. Senior quarterback Brady Cook returns. Last year, he completed 66% of his passes with 9 yards per pass attempt. Cook comes off a strong game in their win against FCS foe. All right, Missouri offense looks strong again this year. Cook's efficiency very good here, and a huge discrepancy between these 2 quarterbacks. Ogbonna struggled to complete half his passes when he was quarterbacked at the FCS school when he first came into college football. Player will be Missouri -34.5. Okay, next game is going to be Virginia and Wake Forest. So we'll find the graphic here and put it up for you guys. Here we go. Virginia and Wake Forest. College football pick this one Saturday. Virginia 1-0 after their 34-13 home win to FCS school Richmond. The Cavs finished at 3-9 last season for head coach Tony Elliott. The Cavaliers returned 8 starters on offense, 8 to the defense. They put up 23 points per game in 2023 with 361 yards of offense. Virginia rushed for 2.9 yards a carry, 252 passing yards, 7.5 yards per pass attempt. Defense has struggled here, giving up over 35 points and 427 yards a game. Opponents rushed for 5.2 yards a carry against them with 7.3 yards per pass attempt. Anthony Calandria starts at quarterback last year. He completed 62% of his passes, 8 yards per pass attempt. Calandria was productive last week in the win against their FCS opponent. Wake Forest 1-0 after their 45-13 home win to FCS school NCAAF. Demon Deacons finished at 4-9 for head coach Dave Clausen. That has 7 starters return on offense, 7 to the defense. The team in 2023 put up only 19 points per game with 319 yards. They rushed for only 3.4 yards a carry and were inefficient in the passing game. Defensively, the Demon Deacons allowed 28 points and 399 yards a game. Opponents rushed for 4.3 yards a carry against them with 240 yards passing, 8.3 yards per pass attempt. Malco Kern starts at quarterback. Kern, a senior that spent his career at the school, seen limited action. Last year in 4 games, he completed 62% of his passes, 7 yards per pass attempt. He attempted just 8 passes last week in their win against their FCS foe. Virginia defense really bad last season, and that is a lot to fix there. Kern in the program for 4 seasons, a plus for the Demon Deacons. We'll take Wake Forest -1.5. Kansas and Illinois college football pick Saturday. Kansas 1-0 after their 48-3 home win to FCS school Lindenwood. The Jayhawks finished at 9-4 last season for head coach Lance Leopold in his 4th season. Returning our 7 starters on offense, 6 to the defense, they put up 34 points a game and 440 yards on offense last year. The team rushed for 5.3 yards a carry and were efficient in the passing game. Jalen Daniels will start at quarterback. He returned from an injury last year. In parts of the past 3 seasons, he held a career 68% completion rate, 8.5 yards per pass attempt. Daniels was efficient in the win last week against FCS school in Illinois. They're 1-0, a 45-0 home win to FCS school Eastern Illinois. The final line went 5-7 last year for head coach Brett Bielema. Returning our 6 starters on offense, 7 to the defense. They put up 24 points per game a year ago, 3.8 yards per rush. Illinois had an efficient passing attack. On defense, they allowed 29 points and 378 yards per game. Opponents rushed for 3.9 yards per carry against them, with 220 yards passing for only 6.9 yards per pass attempt. Luke Altmaier returns at quarterback. Last year with the school, he completed 65% of his passes, 7 yards per pass attempt. He came off a big performance last week facing that FCS school. Altmaier run threat. It fits Bielema in that ground and pound style of game that he coaches. His passing was effective. They defended well last season. We'll take Illinois here at +5. All right, that was our college football pick show, guys, for part 3 for week 2. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more free pick videos. And if you're looking for my best bets, click the link in the description and head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you later.